What's up everybody, Cliff Ravenscraft here with another vlog update, and today I want to share with you some things that have shown up in my mailbox. I have always enjoyed watching other people's vlogs where they share the things that they get in the mail. I'm not so crazy about watching them unwrap and unbox things. I find that a little bit boring, but I do find it fascinating to find out what kind of things are being sent to other people as vloggers. I'm going to be sharing with you several things that I have had sent to myself, but I am also going to share with you some things that have come in from other people. First things first, I want to share with you some things that have come in that I ordered for myself. And before I do that, I want to tell you that I am absolutely 100% always committed to learning new things. I am 100% committed to personal and professional growth. I want to become a better husband. I want to be a better father. I want to be a better friend. I want to be a better son. I want to be a better business person. I want to be a better everything. I want to become more and more every day who I was created to be. One of the ways that I have decided to grow personally and professionally is to actually take in new materials, new insights, new inspiration from many different sources, many different people that I look up to and admire. People like Michael Hyatt, Dan Miller, Ray Edwards, and so many other valuable mentors in my life. I listen to their podcasts. I read their books. And I also have other people that I don't personally know, but I look up to as my virtual mentors. And I read their books, and I go to their workshops, I go to their seminars, their conferences. And there is one person who has probably had the greatest profound impact in my life in a very brief period of time, and it is Tony Robbins. I've told this story a couple times, but it was about 2 years ago. I was thinking about the fact that I wanted to go through another big change in my life professionally. It'll be 10 years in January that I left my 12-year career in insurance to pursue my own full-time self-employed venture to create an online business around my love and passion for podcasting. And I've been able to do that over the past 10 years. I've trained more than 35,000 people around the world how to podcast. Many more than that have been benefiting from the content that I've created. I've built a reputation as the go-to person in the industry. And 2 years ago, I said, I'm kind of bored with this. I know, crazy, right? But I was, quite frankly, I was bored. And I began to dream a new dream. And that dream was, I wonder what it would be like, what life would be like if I could make a living or create a career out of encouraging and inspiring people to take action, to help people see significant change in their lives, to be able to help people achieve their goals. In essence, I wonder if I could make a living by helping people change their beliefs about who they are and what they're able to achieve. And well, over the last 2 years, I've made a commitment that I'm going to do it. I don't know how, but I'm going to do it. I believe it's possible. I wrote it down as a goal. I began to tell my friends about it, and I have been working that plan ever since. And, well, as of October 2017, that plan has become a reality. It's been an exciting transition. And my friend Ray Edwards told me about an event that Tony Robbins did called Unleash the Power Within. Unleash the Power Within is a 4-day intensive conference. You go, and on the very first night, the first thing that you do is walk on hot coals. My wife and I both did that, by the way. It was incredible.
Guys, we just walked on fire! Woo!
But anyway, we went to Unleash the Power Within in June of 2016, and it was just a life-altering, life-changing experience for me. Prior to going to Unleash the Power Within, this 4-day event, my friend Ray says, you might want to pick up one of Tony's training products. And by the way, just got to tell you, going to this conference is the first time I ever paid this much to go to a conference. And I paid for my wife and myself, and we went all first class, everything, just because, well, if I'm going to go in, I'm going to go all in. That's who I am. That's what I do. Anyway, I remember years ago when Michael Hyatt told me about his experience at a live Tony Robbins event, and he told me about how much they paid to go to it and his experience and stuff like that. And I just remember that this was many years ago that Michael Hyatt told me about this, sitting in his office in his home, and I remember thinking to myself, and I never said this to him, but I remember thinking to myself, I could never see myself paying that much to go to a conference. And well, a couple years later, I did. It was awesome. But anyway, Ray said, hey, you might want to, based upon what your goals are and where the direction that you want to head, I really feel like you should check out one of Tony's events. By the way, why did Ray tell me this? Ray told me this because one of the things I said to him was, I said, Ray, I've been somewhat aware of who Tony Robbins is and what he does. And when I think about my dream of the future, for whatever reason, I have this weird vision of me speaking on a stage in front of 25, 35, 50,000 people that actually came there to hear me speak. And I know that sounds crazy. It sounds even crazy to me, but I have this vision of the future. And I have this desire where I actually make my living by entertaining, educating, encouraging, and inspiring others. Where I make my living by helping people change their beliefs about who they are and what they're able to achieve in their life, and inspiring and motivating them to take action to become more of who they're created to be. There's only a few people in this world that I know that made their living doing something like this. People like Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale, Jim Rohn, who I had only become familiar with over the last 7 or 8 years. But then the one name that kept coming up was Tony Robbins. I said, it's like the only person who really comes to mind that I personally have any connection to, at least understanding what they do and how they work and what they offer to people and the impact that they have on people's lives. Tony Robbins would be the closest thing that I could think of, but there's already a Tony Robbins. And so Ray, knowing that, he says, Cliff, since you talk about, you want to do some stuff like what Tony Robbins is doing, why don't you go to one of his events? I think it would be very beneficial. And he told me about his experience at an Unleash the Power Within, I think about 10 years ago. And he says, I think it'd be very beneficial. And so that's why I decided to go. But he said, Cliff, you should also pick up, I'm getting back to it, I promise. You should also pick up one of his training materials so that you get at least an introduction to Tony's communication style, some of his core teachings and stuff like that. And I said, okay. And so I went to Tony's website, and then I saw the prices of his training materials. And I'm like, okay, wow, this is this is an investment on top of the investment that Ray's suggesting. And I'm like, but I want to improve, I want to grow, and I believe in the value. And so I said, Ray, are you sure that this would be a worthy investment? And so I spent a couple $100 on this right here. This is called Creating Lasting Change, 7 Master Steps to Maximum Impact. And I'm not going to go into detail about what this is, but I will just say that this material, even before I went to the Unleash the Power Within event, it's a 10-day program. I've went through it 2 times already, and it has radically changed the way that I coach and mentor people. And it has, even before going to Unleash the Power Within, it was incredible. And then I went to Unleash the Power Within and had a mind-blowing, life-altering experience. And I remember thinking to myself from that event, at that event, it's like, I so want to be able to do this for others. I don't want to be Tony Robbins, but I want to actually be able to affect change in people's lives in the way that I see Tony doing it. Specifically when it comes to setting people free and breaking them away from patterns that are destructive in their life, limiting beliefs that are holding them back from their true potential. helping people eliminate or kick self-doubt to the curb and move forward with boldness and confidence, helping people discover principles and the techniques in life for success that will help set you up for success, removing things from your life that are setting you up for failure over and over again, repeating the process. There are so many things that I have learned and that I have experienced that I want to share, and that's been my passion. Well, ever since then, I've been moving towards this process. Now today, I'm happy to say that very, very little of my income has anything to do anymore with teaching people how to podcast. If anything, it's all passive, it's all referral, it's all affiliate, and that's incredible. Because today, when I think about what I learned from The Big Leap, the book by Gay Hendricks, and The Zone of Genius, I'm like, I only want to spend my working hours working inside of my zone of genius and doing the things that I mentioned. Entertaining, educating, encouraging, inspiring others, motivating them to become all that they were created to be, helping them change their mindset about who they are and their belief about who they are and what they're able to achieve, and then encouraging and motivating and inspiring them to take action to create change in their life. So, yes, I've been definitely motivated and inspired. And by the way, I have had a lot of materials over the last year and a half since Unleash the Power Within that are not from Tony Robbins. So I don't want anybody out there to think that I only go to one mentor, one teacher to learn in personal and professional growth. There have been many others. In fact, gosh, I spent over a month talking about The Big Leap, just one book, right? But it is time for me to take my approach to who I am and what I'm doing to a whole new level. And so I just recently went to the Tony Robbins website. And by the way, I've actually already been in contact with my inside contact in Tony Robbins' organization. Myself and a few people from my mastermind group are planning to go to a Chicago, July 2018 Unleash the Power Within event. So I'm actually going to be going to another 4-day Unleash the Power Within conference. So it'll be 2 years later. I'm going back to the same event, just different city. And the main purpose for that is that I'm hosting my own conference in Franklin, Tennessee in 2018 on September 7th, 8th, and 9th. It's called Free the Dream. And Free the Dream is my own version. It's my style. It's my message. It's my experiences. It's my stories. Many of the same principles I've learned from Tony, but principles I've learned from so many other sources as well. Which, by the way, if you follow Tony Robbins, you know that many of the principles that he teaches, he's picked up from so many other places. So you make it your own. But I do know that I had so much of an experience there that I want to recreate some of that magic for those who attend the Free the Dream conference in September 2018 in Franklin, Tennessee. So because of that, I am planning on attending that another Unleash the Power Within, but I also went to his website and bought this, which is, I think it's a CD set, but yeah, it's the CD of the kind of everything that is taught at an Unleash the Power Within event. Now, you could listen to these, and I promise you, you're going to get tons of valuable insights, principles, and life-changing stuff. Just like before I went to the event, I got so much out of creating lasting change. And there's no doubt that I could have just listened to this and it would have had a profound impact on my life. But I can promise you this, there's no way I would experience what I experienced at that live event by just listening to these. But the reason why I went ahead and got these, even though I've been to Unleash the Power Within once, even though I'm planning on going another time, I still want to actually go through and listen to this stuff over and over again, because these principles have already had a radical, positive, profound impact in my life. And so much of this, I want to make sure that it's consistently at top of mind. The more you repeat something, that you hear something, repetition leads to mastery. And so the more you repeat your learning experience with the same materials over and over again, the more readily that information is available to you personally to use. But more importantly for me, it's more readily available for me to share with others that I'm personally mentoring as they're growing their responsible and profitable online businesses, as they're creating change in their own life to achieve goals that they've been struggling with, whether it be working out or whatever the case may be. I want to be able to have these principles in my mind over and over and over again. So I went into the website and I purchased this when I was doing research for the next Unleash the Power Within event that I would go to. And while I was on the website, I did not stop there. I went ahead and purchased another significant training package from Tony Robbins. This one's called Personal Power 2, a 30-day program for unlimited success. And so as you can see here, there's going to be a lot of material to go through. I can tell you right now, it says it's a 30-day program. It's probably going to take me 90 days to get through it. I don't sit down and just listen and just hear it and move on with my day. When I go through materials like this, I treat them as college courses. And so I will sit down and first of all, any CDs that are in here, I will instantly take and transfer over to MP3 files. And then I will listen to those MP3 files and pause and hit play, take notes as I'm going through. And so if it's let's just say it's a 1 hour or a 90-minute CD or MP3 for the day, I might take 2, 3, or even 4, up to 5 hours taking notes on that information. Anyway, these are some things that have come in the mail. Those are the things that I bought for myself. As I said, I am absolutely committed to personal and professional growth, and I'm looking forward to taking some more massive insights from Tony Robbins and the materials that he's created and made available. But that's not all that I've received in the mail. I received this letter in the mail from my friend Tammy Adams. Tammy is a graduate of my Podcasting A to Z course. She helps people who have local small businesses. She helps them grow and has a podcast all about that. But anyway, Tammy Adams also came to my Next Level workshop, and super, super thrilled and excited to receive this letter. And it's a letter that she wrote on the airplane on our way back from the Next Level workshop. And she wrote a personal note to me, to Stephanie, to my son Matthew, and then to my 2 daughters as well. Tammy, if you're watching this, thank you so much. And after my Next Level workshop on Sunday, I had a full day one-on-one mentoring call. Now, I'm not going to mention this person's last name, but I'll just say Chris, because Chris is working on a transition plan out of a unfulfilling day job, if you will, into full-time self-employment. And he actually invested in the Day with Cliff package, which is the full 8-hour day one-on-one mentoring package. It's $7,500. And one of the conversations that he and I had as we went out to lunch, we were talking about cars. And I told him that I'm not really, a car guy. In fact, I don't even own a car anymore. My wife has a Honda Pilot that we paid cash for, brand new off the lot. And then I used to have a 2003, is it 2003? Yeah, a 2003, is that right? Or is it 2013? No, it's 2003, Toyota Avalon. So it's an old Toyota Avalon. It was my car, but my daughter is now getting ready to turn 18, and so ever since she's had her license, it's been her car, in essence. So now it's her car. So lately, if they have both been out doing things, like Megan's at school, Stephanie's out doing something, and I want to go and have lunch outside of the home, or I need to go meet somebody somewhere, I've been taking an Uber car. I asked myself, why do I even need a car? I mean, I work from home, so I don't have to commute anywhere. When I go out of town to conferences where I'm going to drive instead of fly, I just rent a car. It's very inexpensive to rent a car. And so I'm just not a car guy. And I was talking with Chris, and by the way, Chris, thank you so much for my thank you note. I really appreciate the thank you note. But I was telling Chris, I said, I do have a dream car. And it's a car that you would not imagine. So, some guys have their dream cars. I have a dream car. My dream car is a 1973 Volkswagen Beetle. All right, one that is I want a 1973 Volkswagen Beetle that is in really good condition. and that has been well cared for or restored. I don't want it to look super fancy. I want it to look like it did the day it rolled off the lot, and I want it to run extremely well as well. And I know that those are going to run somewhere between, I don't know, as low as maybe $8,500 to as much as maybe $15,000 for a really good 1973 Volkswagen Bug or Beetle. But it's just been something that it's not been a priority for me to go and get a car. And it's not a car that I would actually drive all the way down to Nashville, probably. It would just be something that I would drive around. It's kind of just my little dream car. Well, anyway, along with the thank you note that Chris sent me from his workshop and Day with Cliff experience, he actually sent me this, and it's actually going to sit right here on my desk. But check this out. He sent me this little die-cast car, and the doors open, and the hood opens. It's just the coolest little thing. And so, Chris, I just want to say it was a privilege and honor to do that workshop experience with you and everyone else that came. But to have that one-on-one full day with you, it was an incredible experience. I'm super excited to follow your online business and transition journey over the next 12 to 18 months. Exciting things are ahead, and I have a feeling that within the next 24 months, I'm going to say there will be a real one of these sitting in my driveway. And so I thank you for that. Anyway, guys, I just want to encourage you, each and every one of you, to think very seriously and be very intentional about your own personal and professional growth. What are you doing to help expand your belief about who you are and what you're able to do in this world? What are you doing on a consistent basis that is moving you more and more towards the life you were created to live? If you need help with that, I have a few different products and services. I have, if you are in the transition from an unfulfilling day job into becoming full-time self-employed, if you happen to be a coach, a consultant, a thought leader, and you would love to make a living from doing something related to those things, I have a workshop called the Next Level Workshop for building an online business. This is a 2-day workshop that will teach you all of the things I wish I would have known in the early stages of my business. And I can tell you right now, with over 30 people who have already come to this live workshop right here in my studio, it is a life-transforming experience that I would love to give to you, teaching you all of the principles, the skills, the techniques, and the step-by-step processes of building a responsible and profitable online business. You can find out more about that at podcastanswerman.com/nextlevelworkshop. And then, of course, I have, for those of you who are already in the process of selling products and services related to your online business, if you've been doing this for a little while and you found some things that are working for you, but you're still not hitting that $10,000 minimum, $10,000 per month, every single month, consistently, but you're working towards it, you just haven't consistently been able to achieve that, then I have the Next Level Mastermind Group. It meets on a weekly basis. It's a full-blown mastermind group that you'll be in a mastermind relationship with me, and it's got a little bit of a sprinkling of me mentoring you as well. And the cost for that, or the investment I should say, is $1,000 per month. So obviously it is an investment, and it's something not to be taken lightly. And in fact, there is an application that you have to fill out before we would even set up an interview to see if you would be a good fit or if it would be a good fit for you. If you are interested in applying for the Next Level Mastermind, you can just go to podcastanswerman.com/mastermind. Again, that's podcastanswerman.com/mastermind. And then one last thing, I have the Free the Dream event, my own version of Unleash the Power Within. It is going to be an incredible experience of life transformation. I do not have a full-blown sales page for that yet, but there is a sales page that just gives you the opportunity to say, hey, please notify me as soon as tickets go on sale. You can head over to freethedream.live, freethedream.live, not .com, freethedream.live. Anyway, those are ways that I could help if you are looking to take your personal and professional life to a whole new level. But I encourage you to look at other resources, other opportunities that are out there for you. They're everywhere. And until next time, I encourage you to find those resources, avail yourself of those resources, and take every area of your life to the next level.